Welcome to this Webeden tutorial. We're going to show you how to add and edit images on a Webeden website builder website. It's very easy. I've got a draft website here that is bereft of any color. It's all black and white. I want to make it stand out a bit and add some images to do that. So one of the options I have is basically adding an image to a whole row. So I've got a new services area here. Let me call this new campsites. And I want to brighten it up a bit. So what I could potentially do is I go to row, move my mouse over row, click on row, edit design, and you'll see here under settings, I have a number of different options. I can add some color to this background, or I can add an image. So I'm going to choose to add an image, highlight image. Then it will say add multiple images for a background slider. So I get the option to add multiple images here and they will slide automatically. But for the time being, I'm just going to add one image. So I click on the plus and up come some images that I could potentially add. Now, I mean, you could scroll for hours. There's loads of free images, stock photography in here that you can add to your website, literally covering thousands of different subject matters. But I've had to play around with this before. I'm going to search for camping and I'm going to select this image and then click done. And you'll see that that image just pops up automatically within the row. Now, it's almost like I've got a window on this image. The image is larger than the row. So I mean, I quite like that effect. I think it works well in terms of my website. However, I don't have to have that effect. I could, if I don't want parallax scrolling, which is what it's doing now, I can just keep it static, and I can choose to move the image around. So I could go to the top of the image or the bottom of the image, but in this instance, middle is probably more appropriate. Now, it may be actually for me, parallax scrolling works well, so I'm going to keep that. But as I scroll over the image, the text seems to disappear. Now, I could change the text. I could potentially change the color of the text to white, make it bolder, increase the font size to make it readable. Or alternatively, I can add an overlay. So sometimes an image might be a bit bright, so you might want to add a white overlay. And here I've got an overlay opacity of 50%. So I could potentially reduce that. Let me put in here 25%. And that might make my text a little bit more readable. Actually, for me, I'm going to get rid of that background overlay for the time being. But that's how you would add an image to a whole row, which would cover the width of your website. But you may want to just have an image within a box. So here I'm going to highlight this box. I'll click in the box. And once again, I get the opportunity to add an image to this column. So I'm on image. I'm going to click add an image. In this instance, I'm going to select this chap hanging from a tree, it looks like. I click done, and the image will appear. And you'll see that basically what's happened is it's zoomed in on this image. I'm not getting the whole image because, the image is too big for the box. Now, I do have options here. If I want to show the full image, I just click on full image. But then I've got this on the side. So that's not really what I want. So I'm going to go with, actually making the image cover the whole column. Once again, I can move it up or I can move it down, but central is probably best for me. So you can add images to columns in that way, but you may want to add an image elsewhere within the site. So what I would do then is I need to add an image box, basically. So I go to widgets. Image box is one of my options. I'm going to click on this and then drag it over the website. Now, as I drag it around the site, I will get the option to move the image into different areas. So I think for me, I'm going to move the image Place it here. And we'll go with this campfire here. And that all works well for me. So now I've added multiple images to my website. I've added a bit of color. It's looking a lot better. But it may be that actually I don't want to use an image from the stock, from the library, from the stock photography. It may be that I want to add an image of my own. So once again, what I could do is I could go to image, I could drag the image box or the image widget across. And in this instance, rather than picking an image that I have either on my site or free images from within Webeden, I'm going to click on upload. And I will get the option here to upload an image from a ballooning trip we did recently. So it's uploading, optimizing the image for web. And any moment now, it should appear. So yeah, I've got a ballooning image there that I've uploaded. If I wanted to replace that image, see now what we've got here is if I click on replace, sorry, let me do that again. I've got site images. So these are images that I'm already using on my site. But it may be that I can search for other images, or as you've just done, upload more images. So hopefully that's all useful and very easy to understand.